Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne, and we have on our phone line one of the greatest laughers I've ever heard, Tonya Hoffmann. Have you always been a good laugher, Tonya?
I don't know. Is it my new title? I love that. I should put that on my bio and everything.
No, you absolutely should, because you do. You've got a great laugh. I've always said that about you. Tonya and I met at I guess about a year and a half ago, and she is upbeat and friendly and very positive, and we're glad to have her as a friend and here on Late Night Health. She is the CEO of the Public Speakers Association and the founder of that group as well. We were going to ask you, you had two, I guess, life rules. The first one, be nice and no nasty people. What's rule number 2?
No perfect people ever allowed, please. Which also kind of goes with, I have kind of a silent rule, which is, no big egos or elitism, which kind of goes along with the perfectionist part.
Yeah, absolutely. And that can be hard, especially if you're working with, say, I hate to say doctors, but doctors can be very grueling sometimes to work with because they don't understand that they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like Daryl.
Well, even just, if you look at speakers, coaches, people that have a lot of credibility, their bios go on and on. A lot of times they've just drank their Kool-Aid a little bit too much. They read way too many of their own press releases.
Yeah, I can relate to that. That makes sense. What can people do to avoid those negative people? Because it's sometimes difficult. Maybe you need the money and you have to work for a negative boss and get yelled at. Maybe there's a coworker. Maybe there's just a friend who really likes you and all they do is talk about their poor, sad lives and they never ask you about yours.
Yeah, I've had those friends, and I said had because I said goodbye, and it was hard to let someone that you were together, for 10, 15 years and suddenly just cut ties. But it was such a relief and a huge adjustment for my life making that decision. And you have to make decisions. Just like you said, sometimes you have to work for a negative boss. No, you don't. There are all alternatives. There are multiple jobs out there.
Even in an economy that is, we don't know if it's going up, down, or sideways, the job market I haven't looked at. It's not part of what I do here on Late Night Health. But are there jobs out there that will make everybody happy? Can everybody have a happy gig?
Well, I know that, the study is even out there that 2 out of, every one person, or 1 out of every 2 people, I guess that is very unhappy in their job. And like 90% of the world doesn't feel fulfilled in the jobs that they're in, which is sad, right?
Absolutely.
And you really have got to look at what toll is that not just having on yourself, but also your family, your friends, the people that you surround yourself with. And, for me, I've always just kind of tackled people right from the get-go because a lot of times, again, people don't even realize a lot of times that they are being difficult. And letting people know that that's your feeling, because I think a lot of people just aren't even aware. Now you've got to make that decision. If you're going to say something, you can't take it back.
No, you can't take it back. And it's, as you mentioned, it's difficult to do. And you don't want to do it to hurt somebody. You're really doing it out of love.
Exactly.
But,
and that's what you've got to come across when you're talking to somebody. When I have conversations with people that are coaching clients or, speakers in my association or anyone that I have a connection to, when I say to them, this isn't working and this is why, it's coming from a place of I would rather you change and stay in than to leave. but inevitably, it's their decision.
But how do you do that in a personal life, say a sister?
Well, whenever you talk to family, because, I've had some horrific people in my family. And not just negative, but, people you have to decide, I didn't want my children growing up around them. But that also alienated me from a group of my family that I truly loved and adored. And I had to come across in a place of, okay, this is what I'm not going to stand for anymore. And it's your decision, because it is always the other person's decision what they're going to do about it. So is it their decision to stay in that arena, in that circumstance, or are they going to move along with me? And inevitably, they have to make that decision. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't make the decision you hope that they make. But again, it is each person's individual right to make that decision.
Tonya, thank you. We are out of time. Tonya Hoffmann, the CEO and founder of the Public Speakers Association. And she's also provided us with John Taylor last week. He was wonderful. We're out of time. If you want information, the publicspeakersassociation.com. Public Speakers with an S, association.com. Tonya, we'll do this again. All right, coming up next, Marianne Ryan. Don't go away. Late Night Health continues.